Hi, this is Mr. Ward, and this is the video key for the exit ticket 26.2 for geometry. And I'm going to skip all over the things that I'm just asking for you to touch bases with me on and go right to the theorem we got to prove. So you proved the no choice theorem. Why did I call it the not choice? That's weird. Let me fix that. I'm going to go fix that now. Okay, and you get to see behind the curtain. The not choice, that's silly. The no choice, and I will reload that. It's going to complain. Okay, the no choice theorem in the do now. And so that's now available for you for proving Theorem 46, because you're not referring to Theorem 46 to prove Theorem 46, because that would be a tautology, a circular argument. So we're going to prove the angle side theorem. So you want to use the diagram in the givens to prove that triangles GHJ and KMO are congruent. And we've been given that angle G is congruent to angle K, and angle H is congruent to angle M, and we've also given that JH and OM are congruent. Okay, but that isn't something we're used to using to prove things. So let's just go ahead and say our given. So givens, okay, angle G is congruent to angle K, and angle H is congruent to angle M, and JH is congruent to OM. So we've been given all of that information. Now, because these two angles are, so what would be useful is if we could find some way to say side angle side, or angle side angle, or side side side, or hypotenuse leg. Hypotenuse leg is right out because we don't know that these are right triangles. There's not going to be any way to prove right now immediately that this side between the angles KM and GH are congruent, but we do have a way of proving that J and O, angles J and O are congruent, and that would allow us to prove angle side angle. And we can say that angle J is congruent to angle O by the no choice theorem. Angles J and O have no choice but to be congruent, since the other pairs of corresponding angles are congruent, because there's only going to be one number that will get us to 180, and that will be the measure of angles J and O. Okay, so now that we have that, and we can label that, we can say, okay, now that we have that information, now we can say that the triangles are congruent. Okay, we can say triangle GHJ is congruent to triangle KMO by angle side angle. And so that demonstrates how angle side leads us to, having angles, since that demonstrates how having an angle side congruence forces an angle side angle congruence for triangles. So angle side is sufficient to prove that two triangles are congruent, because it leads to angle side angle, which we've already demonstrated is one of our tools. I hope that helped.